Hey everybody, it's Paige, and today's video is going to be a review and demo of the Huda Beauty New Nude palette. I got so many requests to do a review on this palette, and then I asked you guys in a recent video, I don't remember which one, if you guys would still be interested in seeing it, and a lot of you said yes, so that's what I'm doing today. I obviously already played around with this, and I have been playing around with this. This is not a first impressions. I did buy the palette with my own money, just to give that disclaimer, and this is my one and only Huda Beauty palette, or not palette, product that I own. Before we get into the demo, I did want to go ahead and mention that I will have all the products that I used on my face during the video and prior to the video linked in the description box in case you are curious and want to check that out. And today's video has a giveaway in it. So even though I'm doing a review of the new Nude palette, I thought I would give away a different palette. So for today's giveaway, I am giving away the Morphe and Jaclyn Hill Ring the Alarm palette. I love this palette so much, and I wanted to share the love with one of you guys. So to enter this giveaway, you need to subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow me on Instagram, and then give this video a thumbs up and leave a comment down below. And your comment needs to include your Instagram handle, and you need to answer this question. Okay, well, it's not really a question, but you need to include a video suggestion. So what kind of videos do you want to see from me? Leave that in the comments down below, including your Instagram handle, so I have a way to contact you. And yeah, that's all you have to do to enter to win this palette. This is a great palette, you guys. Also, I know that you guys are gonna ask where my jacket is from, and I got this jacket from TJ Maxx a while ago. I freaking love it. It's covered in all these like rhinestones and studs and like pearls. Oh, I'm obsessed, but I've had this for like probably a year, so not sure if you can still find it. The brand, let me see, does it say? Blank NYC is the brand. So if I can find something similar, I'll link that down below as well. So let's go ahead and get into the demo now. Okay, so I have everything done except for eyeshadow and mascara, and I'm gonna leave the details and links to everything that I use on my face today in the description box in case you're curious. So like I said, we're gonna be using the New Nude palette from Huda Beauty, and I have used this a couple of times. It's absolutely stunning. I love the textures, all of the various textures in this palette. I think it's like so pleasing to look at. Like I could just stare at it forever and ever and I would be very, very happy. So this palette has lots and lots of textures. Like I said, we've got plenty of mattes. There's one shimmer right here. We've got some of these like crushed pearl kind of shades and then some pressed glitters. And I've been playing around with this palette a little bit already and I am obsessed with it so far. So there's also this like cream product right here, which is like a base, which I haven't actually used yet, but we'll go ahead and use that today. I'm just gonna apply it with my finger, I think, and then we'll set the eyelid with one of the other shadows. The first shade that I'm gonna go in with is this shade right here. It's called Bear. It's just like a kind of like a matte creamy kind of shade, and I'm literally just gonna take a fluffy brush and dust this all over the eyelid to set the base that we applied, and then also the foundation and concealer that's on my eyelids. So I'm not sure if you can really tell on camera, but my eyelids definitely have a pinkish gray cast to them just because of the color of the eyeshadow. I personally prefer a more yellow undertone shade to set my eyelids just because I feel like it matches with the rest of my face a little bit better, but it's not a big deal because we're gonna cover it up with eyeshadow anyway. Just thought that would be something to mention. So now I'm gonna go in with this shade right here, which is called Play. And this is like a cute, like peachy moment, peaches and cream kind of moment. So I'm just gonna use this Morphe brush. It was from like a brush set. It doesn't have a number or anything on it. And then I'm gonna run this through the crease. So the shade is very light. You can probably barely see it on my eyelids. I did feel the need to build it up, so I went back into the pan 3 times to get this color payoff. It's not patchy or anything at all. It actually blends out really, really nicely. And it is quite pigmented. It's just a very light shade and it's close to my skin tone color, so that's why I felt the need to build it up so much. So now I'm gonna go in with this shade right here, which is called Teddy. And I think I might just use the same, no, I'll use the Jaclyn Hill JH36 brush for this shade, and then I'm also going to put this in my crease, keeping it a little bit lower. These shadows are pretty powdery, so I'm noticing when I dip my brush into the pan, like there's quite a bit of like product coming out. I'll try to zoom in on that and see if you can see that. Not that that's a really big deal to me. I honestly don't care as long as the eyeshadows perform well. I think I'm gonna try to go for more of a warm toned look just because I feel like it's so easy to go cool toned with this palette. So I'm gonna try to stick to the more warmer shades in the palette. So next I'm gonna go in with this shade, which is called Raw, and it looks like raw fish to me. So the name, I don't know, I just think it's kind of like funny that it's named that. So I'm gonna go in with Raw, and I'm gonna use the Luxie 231 small tapered blending brush. I love this brush so much. I got it in an Ipsy box like forever ago, but this is like my favorite blending brush ever. And I'm gonna put this in the outer corner and then also a little bit in the crease. Whew, she is pigmented. So here are swatches of all four of the like pearlized crushed pigments. These are so freaking beautiful. I barely tapped into the pan and I got this color payoff. I think I'm gonna go in with this one right here, which is called Crave. It's like, it's this one right here. It's kind of like a goldish kind of shadow. I feel like it almost has like a green duochrome in there or something. Okay, so we're just gonna go right in. I didn't wet the brush or anything. I haven't used this shade yet, and oh baby. Yeah, I'm definitely getting like a green shift to it. So there's a lot of fallout with these kind of shades, so I am going to take my powder brush and just like dust off the glitter that's all over my face. Not that I have a problem with glitter being all over my face, but I just want it to be where I put it and not, you know, everywhere. Okay, so I'm loving what we're working with so far. I do really want to use one of these two glitters, but I don't know which one. I think I'm gonna use the lighter one, which is like the more pinky one, not the red one, and that is the shade Infatuated. And I don't know if I just want to use my finger or what, but I think I'm going to put it right in the center of my eyelid where the Raw shade meets Crave. I'm gonna try. Okay. Okay, so this is with me barely touching it. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's do like a little hand swatch. I feel like these don't swatch well. Oh gosh. Okay. Just so you know, this is what a hand swatch looks like. It looks kind of ugly, honestly, but just wait until I apply it to the eyes. So I'm actually gonna use this brush. This is an Anastasia Beverly Hills brush from one of the palettes, the like flat part. This is the brush that I used to place Crave. And I'm just gonna go into Infatuated and then just kind of like press it right here. Okay, so I think I'm actually gonna work more towards the center, or my inner corner, I should say. Again, I'm getting lots of fallout with this shade, and it is very chunky, and honestly, I feel like the best method, at least from what I can tell, to apply this is with your finger and then use a pressing motion. I feel like that lays the product more flat on the eyes, but I freaking love this eye look. So now I just need to, I'm gonna even things out a little bit. I'm gonna run just like one shade underneath my lower lash line, and I'm just gonna use a JH33, and I'm gonna go in with Teddy, which was this corner shade. This was the second like crease shade that we used, and I'm just going to run this underneath my lower lash line. I'm gonna focus it on the outer corner as well. And I'm actually gonna use the same brush and go in with a little bit of the shade Raw, like just like a tiny bit, just to kind of like connect the top and the bottom. And I'm really just focusing that on the outer corner. Okay, and then for a brow bone and inner corner highlight, I'm gonna use this super blinding highlight. It's quite expensive, but totally worth it in my opinion. This is the Moonplay Cosmetics Stroboscope Hyper Flash Powder in the shade Vow. This is actually a shade that Sam Sherman named like forever ago. I believe these retail for $43, which is like so much money for a highlighter, but I did pay for this with my own money, and you do get so much product. I wonder if it says. You get 6 grams of highlighter, and I'm literally just gonna like tap once, okay? And oh my word, this is so blinding. Like, you need the tiniest bit. So I'm gonna take this Eco Tools pencil brush and just tap a little bit in there, and then like, oh my gosh, do you see that? This is what I'm wearing on my cheeks. I freaking love it. I kind of forgot about this, and then I was looking through my makeup, like reorganizing everything, and I saw it and I was like, oh girl, I used to use that every single day. And now I'm back to it. And then I'm gonna pop a little bit on the inner corner, and by a little bit, I mean a lot. So I finished the look off with some mascara. I used the No. 7 Dramatic Lift Mascara. I don't know if they make this anymore. I had this like unopened in my drawers forever, like for so long. And this used to be my favorite mascara ever, but now it's like almost dead, and I'm so sad because I went to Target to look for it and I didn't see it. Doesn't mean they don't have it, but I will look this up and see if it's still available, and I'll link it if possible. I think it's so good at volumizing my lashes. So now I'm gonna give you my final thoughts. So starting with the packaging on this palette, it's gorgeous. I love the packaging, from the color scheme to the design to the size of the palette. I just think that this is a really beautiful palette on the inside and out. You get a really nice mirror in here. It's very big and very useful, great for traveling. I love the palette so much as far as the packaging goes, like I said. So not that that really matters, but it kind of does, because, you know, it's part of what makes you buy something, I feel like. So the inside of the palette, I think that the variety of this palette is bomb. Even though you look at it and you're like, it's literally all pink, I think that there's a lot more variety than you think. So I obviously went for a very warm, like more peachier kind of eye look today, which honestly I didn't really know was possible, because when you just look at the palette, it literally looks like all cool tones, but there are some really beautiful warm tones, like the shade Teddy, Raw, Play. Tickle is a really pretty warmer tone, which I didn't actually use today, and the mattes are so beautiful. They blend together really well. I actually feel like I liked this palette better without using the concealed base product right here. I mean, I didn't have any problem, but I just felt like it was so much more just like seamless and quick when I didn't use that, you know, prior to filming this video. So I don't know that I love that. And it already has some like eyeshadow in it, so it like looks kind of like gross. So not a big fan of that part of the palette, but everything else I think is amazing. The mattes are so beautiful and like buttery and so easy to blend together. And I didn't feel like one shade like swallowed the other when I put a new one on. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes if you put a shade in your crease and then you go in with a little bit of a darker shade and it just like eats it, like, and then it's like, where did that first shade go? I feel like you can definitely still see a gradient of shades as far as like blending. So I really like that about the mattes. And then I didn't use the shimmer right here. There's only one shimmer as far, I think all of them are mattes, and then the like special ones, but we can go ahead and do a little finger swatch. So this is really pretty. It seems like a pretty basic, like kind of metallic-y shade, nothing like crazy or, you know, out of this world. But I will say the Crushed Pearl shades are crazy and out of this world. I love them. I've used Crave and I've used Fantasy, which is this one right here. These two are the ones that I've used, and they're so beautiful. They're kind of like, you might get a little bit of a different shade with each application because it's not uniform, which I actually think that's kind of fun. And they're so metallic, so blinding. I love that. And then the glitters are so beautiful, and I will say that finger swatches do not do them justice, and I didn't use any kind of glitter glue, but they're literally staying on my eyelids perfectly. When I applied it, there was some fallout, but like now whenever I blink or anything, like there's no glitter falling out, which I think is really, really amazing, especially for just like a glittery shade. I love glitter so much. I love those liquid eyeshadows, but sometimes you don't want a liquid eyeshadow, but you still want glitter, so I think that these are perfect. They're so blinding and beautiful, and I love how much dimension they have. The one that I used, Infatuated, it looks like pink. It looks like a nice mid-toned pink shade, but when you look closely, there actually are like itty bitty green flecks of glitter as well. So I just think this is a really nice variety, and there's a lot of dimension to the shades, and I'm just a big fan. I did want to say I bought this with my own money, so, you know, whatever. Just a little disclaimer, and I have used this probably 4 times now, and like I've used it more than 4 times, but I've done a dedicated look probably about 4 or 5 times with this palette. But I've used like some shades here or there mixing with other palettes more times than that. But I love this palette. I think it retails for $65, which is a lot for an eyeshadow palette, and this is actually the one and only Huda Beauty item that I own. So when I saw this, I was like, yes please, I'm buying that. Like I knew, like it was love at first sight. So I'm a big fan. If you like pinky tones, if you like peachy tones, if you like glitters and shimmers, I think that this is a really nice palette for you. I don't have anything like this palette actually. A lot of people say that it looks like the Naked 3 palette, but I completely disagree. I feel like the Naked 3 palette is like blah compared to this. This is stunning, and it's called the New Nude palette, I guess, because it's like pink is the new nude. I don't know. I don't know. I like it. Pink is my favorite color. I love anything pink, but I don't know. I'm a big fan. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Oh, I did want to mention, I feel like this is missing one. Well, like I said, I prefer the yellow toned shade to set my eyes, but that's not a big deal at all. Like you literally can't even tell now. But I do wish that there was a super bright, shiny highlight shade like what I have on my brow bone and inner corner, but there's nothing really like that. The lightest shade would be Crave, which is this one, which is the shade that I applied all over the lid, which I would never use that deep of a shade as a highlight on my eyes, but I do wish it had like a super bright, blinding highlight shade. But other than that, I love it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. I love you guys so much. I have so many videos planned. I think I'm posting a video like every single day in January except for like 3 days, so I have a lot of videos to film and to edit and to upload, but I'm really excited to give you guys all this content. So I love you guys so much. I hope you have an amazing day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.